Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiteboard Finance. My name is Marco and I'm here to help you master your money and build your wealth. So Warren Buffett is obviously one of the greatest investors of all time, and they are currently sitting on over $334 billion in cash, and there's probably a reason for that. So in this video, I want to go over that because at the time of this recording, the market is having a really hard time. Stocks definitely are correcting. A lot of my portfolio is correcting. So let's get right into the presentation. So this is Berkshire Hathaway. I created this image with Buffett with a suitcase full of cash and Berkshire Hathaway Inc., Omaha, Nebraska, inside the suitcase. So this is a live picture of my portfolio, you guys. All joking aside, it's not doing that bad. I'm just being facetious. But let's get into the meat of the video. So Berkshire Hathaway, they're currently holding $334 billion in cash. So basically from quarter 1, 2024 to quarter 4, 2024, their cash balance rose by $145.2 billion. So what is Buffett seeing here? Okay, so if we look at this chart right here, the cash and cash equivalents is basically at by far their all-time high over the last 30 years. And if we keep moving forward, let me show you a picture of their balance sheets. So right now they hold $286.5 billion of U.S. Treasury bills, aka T-bills, and $44.3 billion of cash in their insurance and other businesses. In their railroad, utilities, and energy business, they hold another $3.4 billion of cash, which you can see right here. It's $3.396 billion, and then here are the other two that I just mentioned. And again, these are cash and cash equivalents. So they have more cash than the Federal Reserve right now. So for a lot of people that don't understand what this means, to put this into perspective, the Federal Reserve currently holds $195.3 billion in Treasury bills. This means that Berkshire Hathaway now holds $91.2 billion more of T-bills than the Fed, okay? So right now, Berkshire Hathaway's T-bill balance is about 47% higher than the Fed itself. So if you look at this screenshot right here, you can see U.S. T-bills. This is from their holdings as of February 19th, 2025, okay? Now, if we keep going, just to put that number into perspective, and we're going to get to a point in this video why I'm telling you all this and what he's buying, and there's a reason for all this, but I'm just trying to put into perspective how big this actually is. So this cash balance is larger than the market cap of all but 30 public companies in the entire world. So Buffett's cash pile is now larger than the market cap of Coca-Cola and T-Mobile. And basically, you can see here, it's almost at Alibaba and AbbVie. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with all these stocks. So the reason for all this is, should the market be taking this as a warning sign from Buffett? Why is he in so much cash? If this was any other fund manager, he would have been fired a long time ago to sit in this much cash. So there's no stock buybacks of Class A or B shares. I think this is important to note. Because we're going to get into what he's actually buying. So not only did Berkshire Hathaway build a record cash balance, they also repurchased $0 of stock in quarter 4, 2024. This is the second straight quarter without buybacks. So in quarter 3, Berkshire said buybacks will resume when Buffett believes that the repurchase price is below intrinsic value. So what this is saying is they're basically saying, hey, I have no good deals out there. Okay, so what is Buffett buying? Before we get into that, let's get into today's sponsor, JM Bullion. We're going to pitch a little bit of gold here, and it's the only place that I buy gold from, and this is about $15,000 at the time of this recording. It's not in my house, okay? It's not in my house. I do have a lot of AK-47s in my house, but this is not in my house. Let's get into JM Bullion. At the time of this recording, gold has outperformed the S&P 500 by over 20% over the past year. I buy all of my gold bullion and precious metals from JM Bullion, and I've been doing so for about 10 years. Here's a little screenshot to show you that. I allocate a percentage of my net worth to gold, and I think of it as an insurance policy on the rest of my portfolio. During times of unprecedented money printing, since we've seen over the past 4 or 5 years, gold is a smart choice to preserve your purchasing power with. JM Bullion is one of the biggest precious metals dealers in the United States, with over $11 billion in precious metals sold and more than 6 million deliveries completed. They have over 400,000 positive customer reviews, with an impressive average rating of 4.8 out of 5 stars. Join millions of satisfied customers who trust JM Bullion the same way that I have for 10 years now. This is all bought from JM Bullion. It's about $15,000 in my right hand at the time of this recording, so make sure to use my link in the description so they know I sent you. Happy stacking. Okay, so as promised, what is Buffett buying? So Buffett started to build his Apple position again. So he cut it by $104 billion since Q4 2023, as you can see in this screenshot. But it jumped $5 billion to about $75 billion in Q4 2024. If you look at where my laser pointer is, that's the most recent reporting we have. So Buffett says that Apple will remain their largest investment unless something changes, okay? So you can see here that they've been allocating for a very long time. This is basically just going back to 17, and then it kind of went down by a lot in the beginning of 2024. I think this is when he started to get spooked a little bit about the market, and then from 70 to 75 billion here. So I know this is kind of hard to see. I apologize, you guys. Hopefully you guys are watching this on a TV. But since 1964, Buffett has returned 5.5 million % compared to 39,000% in the S&P 500. So that's a compounded annual gain of 19.9% for 60 years compared to 10.4% in the S&P 500. But if you actually look at some of this stuff, you know, some years he blows it out of the water. Some years he does very well. Other years he underperforms, right? But at the end of the day, it is Warren Buffett, so I'm not going to doubt him. But this is the one thing that I wanted to really focus on, and this is kind of the whole reason why I wanted to make this video, is that nothing looks compelling. So often, nothing looks compelling. Very infrequently, we find ourselves knee-deep in opportunities, he said. It appears to be that Buffett is having difficulty finding bargains in a historically strong market, but he still made $52.8 billion. Okay, no big deal. A little bit of light work, $52.8 billion. If I had 52.8 milli, you would never see me on YouTube again, let alone 52.8 billion. But you can see that from right here, you guys, all joking aside. He has sold off some of his equity holdings. You can see that in the 13F filings, but he still holds a ton of equities. That's what they do, right? Again, if anyone else was holding this much cash, they'd be fired as an asset manager. So in 2024, investment gains on their equity securities were $52.8 billion. Warren Buffett maintains significant exposure to the stock market, even with recent cautious moves, okay? So that's where we're at, you guys. That's the whole reason I wanted to make this video, because is he turning bearish by getting into this much cash? So heading into 2025, Berkshire Hathaway is holding over 27% of their assets in cash. This marks the highest percentage on record and one of the strongest bull markets of all time. So is Buffett turning bearish? You can see here that they start to ramp up in cash right before every recession, which is pretty interesting. Look at 05, and then they started investing during 07, 08. And then ramping up the cash, and then, you know, same thing with COVID, same thing with all this. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know if he is turning bearish, so to speak. Hold on, let me do the formal intro. Check out Whiteboard Finance University, live membership. I go weekly there every Wednesday. We have guest speakers. It's unbelievable value, full courses. It's ridiculously underpriced, okay? And then let's get into my thoughts. So I don't have many thoughts for this video. The reason I wanted to do the JM Bullion, you know, gold sponsor and all that is just because I think cash and precious metals right now, they're not necessarily the move, but when you see days like this where stocks are getting pummeled, some of my stocks are getting absolutely pummeled, but that's why I also buy, you know, low-cost index funds and just dollar cost average. So at the end of the day, I don't care. But for the individual equities investors, be careful. You know, have a percentage of your portfolio in cash or cash equivalents. Always have the emergency fund, which we talk about. If you're a business owner, it should be 12 months of cash at least. Okay, I know that sounds like too much for some people, but you can lose your job tomorrow, God forbid, or your business goes down tomorrow. At least you know you have a runway of 12 months to figure stuff out, okay? You don't want to be caught swimming naked when the tide does go out. So check out cash, check out precious metals. You know, I wouldn't go against Warren Buffett, but you can see that he deploys heavily when the market turns down, and we're very frothy. I've been saying that for a very long time. I think 2025 is going to be the last hurrah, and then we're going to start to downturn in 26, unless Trump and Bessent, you know, they want a strong market. It's Trump's entire legacy, so you have that factor as well. So we'll see. Again, rate cuts, they're not going to be happening as many times as predicted. We're looking at maybe 1 or 2 for 2025, and that will play a factor as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Check out JM Bullion. Check out the link in the description below, and check out Whiteboard Finance University. But most importantly, have a prosperous day. So I've been thinking about ways to implement my gold bullion. I'm probably going to just end up giving this to family and friends as I get older, maybe for like, you know, wedding gifts and stuff. But what if I just rocked it like this? Would you still watch my channel? Or maybe like a necklace. If I just put these on a necklace. I'm going to put on my watch. What's up, guys? Sacagawea.